reaching more people, more ways, more often. 980 WCAP. Everybody gets it.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming from both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various marketing techniques and methods. The purpose of this show is to bring on subject matter experts from around the world who will share their insights, their trials and tribulations, so you can learn from them and not have to experience those yourself, and it will help you cut the learning curve and achieve your success even quicker. Today, Kelly Jo Murphy we are blessed to have with us, and she is the CEO of Legacy Empires, an organizational business strategist and COO of the JV Insider Circle. She teaches and mentors ambitious entrepreneurs to have and love their 6- and 7-figure legacy empires. Kelly Jo, good morning.
Hi, Ron. Wonderful to be here with you.
Thank you so much. And I know I've known you for a couple of years now, and I'm very happy that we finally got you on the show. It's been a while.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, thank you. And where are you calling in from?
I am in sunny Phoenix, and you'd think that it would be hot, and here to us it's actually very cold. 70.
70, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
We'd be suntanning.
It's jacket weather here. It's jacket weather here. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, 70 degrees, we'd be suntanning.
Oh, I know.
But anyhow, excellent. I read a little bit of your bio. Like I said, I've been around you both at JVX, and I also am familiar with what you do outside of that. So can you tell the listeners a little bit more about who you are and what you do and how you help people grow in their businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been an entrepreneur probably about 26, 27 years, and online for about 17 of those. It was really just when the coaching industry was just a baby, and I happened across it, and it just made the most sense to me. So at that point, I've been, seeing all the trends come and go of what's been happening online. So it's been an interesting ride. I've worked with entrepreneurs for many of those years in helping them to grow their businesses. And the main thing that I have seen is that people get stuck along the way, and they're just not sure why they're stuck. So they keep looking for the next solution, the next solution, the next solution, and it's not usually in the next solution of what they are actually needing to actually grow their business. So I show them exactly the structures and the strategies that will actually work for them based on their natural gifts and strengths, because that's the biggest thing that I see with entrepreneurs is they're not honoring who they are as a person, because every entrepreneur, even though we all have many commonalities, you're each an individual, and you have different ways about going about things. And there's a lot of techniques out there, just like you said, the show is all about, attracting and converting your ideal clients. And you're not going to do that with a technique that works for one person but doesn't work for you. And it doesn't mean that all of those techniques out there, are right for everyone. Each of them is going to be right for you if that is in alignment with what your natural gifts and strengths are. So those are the places that I go deeper with people to find what those natural gifts and strengths are, and then match them with the types of strategies that are actually foundational, right, for growing a business, and then putting the two together so they can actually grow and build that empire that they really are wanting.
Wow. I mean, that's so, I don't want to say, I mean, that's amazing, because there are so many people who are, I don't want to say outside of their authentic and their alignment self, but they're trying to do something that's just really not who or what they are, and it conflicts with them, and they're not having the success. So you help them cut right to the chase of basically, what they're best at. And I really like how you said one size doesn't fit all. In our marketing we do for various clients, even if they're in the same industry, they may serve different people in that industry. It could be as simple as a different age group. It could be a different demographic with respect to area or income. So one size doesn't fit all. So I really like the way you are helping people get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, what I would say is the main part that I see that is lacking, and, so any of your listeners really, take this to heart, is that the messaging itself is where I see people fall down. Because most entrepreneurs absolutely love what they do, right? The actual process of what they do to help people, to really make that impact, right? And they tend to go on and on talking about it. And they think that everyone's going to absolutely love their process. And that's what's going to make them sign up or buy their product or buy their program and so forth. And that isn't why people actually sign up. It isn't why they convert. Why people convert is what's in it for them. What is the result that your process is actually going to do? And 80% of your marketing needs to be around the messaging of what that result is that your ideal clients are actually wanting. And you need to be speaking into that in every part of your marketing, all about the result, all about the result. And once people see that, yes, you are the one who can get them that result, they're going to be much more apt to want to hear, now I'll hear about your process, right? So what is exactly your process that's going to get me that result? That's when you can convert them at that point.
I love it. And that is really straight to the core. It is really about the results. And I try to tell my clients, and I ask them, listen, if you want me to make you feel good, I might not be the best person for you. If you want me to help you get results, I'm the one for you, because what you just said really hit the nail on the head. No matter the customer, the potential customers and clients, they don't really care about us as individuals. They don't care about what we do. They don't care about any of that. What they care about is the results that they get, the problem, the solution that they get. So once they get that down pat, to me, that is fundamental. What is it? What's in it for me? So people have to, sometimes you'll go to their website and they'll have a big picture about them and they'll tell you all about who they are, and nowhere on there do you see, we provide this or our clients get this, and that's what really matters. Secondary might be your certificates or, other than that, but the first thing, you got 6 or 7 seconds to grab somebody's attention when they hit your website. So the first thing they see, it has to be the results you provide. I love it.
Yeah, so even just you reading my bio, right, and saying, okay, so I'm the CEO, I've been an entrepreneur for 27 years, right, all of these different things, I'm COO of another company, and so forth, who cares? That's good behind the scenes to at least say, okay, I've had the experience and the knowledge behind me, but what is that experience and knowledge actually going to do for you, right? What it's going to do for you is going to take all of that and help the business owner themselves get to the 6 figures that they're wanting, get to the 7 figures that they're wanting, and actually build their empire based on what it is of who they are and the lifestyle that they want. Because if all of that background of what I have can't get them there, it doesn't matter. It all just sits there flat, right? So I have to always be speaking into, I help you get to the 6 figures that's been elusive this whole time. Then my background is what's going to bring in what it takes to actually get there.
Yep, and that's right in the bio. She teaches and mentors ambitious entrepreneurs to have and love their 6 and 7 figure legacy empires. I like it. And so good. So now, let's say we have somebody, let's use 3 different levels. Let's say we have somebody who's just going to start a business in the next couple of months. We have somebody who's been in business for 18 to 24 months. Then we have somebody who maybe has been in business for 4 to 5 to 6 years and they want to level up a couple of levels. What advice or tips or what would be the starting point you could give each level?
So what's interesting is that I wouldn't categorize them based on how long you've been in business, because you can be in business for 6 or 7 years and still not be making very much, right? So it's really about your level of where you're at with your revenue and your profit, because if you don't know what it takes to actually bring the revenue in or actually make a profit, even after 6 months or 7 years, that's going to make a huge difference on what we're going to do next together. So a brand new person not making any money, immediately I'm going to go right for the messaging, because this messaging piece that I just spoke to is what's going to attract the right people that are going to want to work with you and hire you in the first place. So that's the first place that we need to look. Then for someone who's not quite at 6 figures yet but wants to get there, and maybe they have a few clients, they have some people who are buying their product, and so forth, but it's not really as steady and consistent as they want, the place that we need to look at is going to be, where are you putting your energy in your business? Because where you're putting your energy needs to be in the systems that actually set things up to make everything be consistent. The income to get to 6 figures is all based on consistency. Because once you start attracting the right people, you need to actually start attracting them consistently. That's how you're going to actually get to 6 figures. So then what happens is you get the consistency going. Okay, most of the time at this point, entrepreneurs are really working too hard. And I want to set them up in the first place that they aren't. But what happens a lot of times is they're working too hard. They're doing too many of the pieces within their business. To get to 7 figures, you have to be able to know how to fire yourself. So if you know how to fire yourself, what you're doing is, in essence, you're learning how to be a leader. And you're leading your company so that you can delegate more, you can have more of those systems in place, and that's the thing that's actually going to get you to that 7-figure and beyond.
I love it. It's learn it, do it, delegate it. Stick to whatever your IP is, your intellectual property, and stay in that zone. And then just anything you can delegate for, $10 to $20 an hour. Delegate that. So I really like what you're saying. And the systems you talked about, there's also a book by Michael Gerber, The E-Myth Revisited, and I recommend people read that, because it'll help them talk about going from infancy to adolescence and different stages in businesses. And he also talks about systems and systems win, and he gives a great example using franchises and why they're successful opposed to people who are not. But you talked about systems a couple of times. What do you think people could look at in terms of creating or improving their current systems?
Yes. So just like going back to what you said, which is about the person's natural strengths, and so forth, what you need to look at is what is working. So what is working to actually attract the clients that you want at the beginning? What you need to do is just repeat it. And you need to repeat it over and over again. So if you have a sales funnel, or if you have an email system and so forth, you get those types of systems in place to repeat what is working. And so you're always adjusting, right? We're always testing. We're always adjusting as we go. But when you find and you hit a vein of what is working, you need to have a system in place. But you're not the one doing it all the time, right? That's what we want to get to. The system is the place that's actually doing that thing that works over and over and over again consistently. So you have to look at your funnels. You have to look at what programs are out there. And something that's interesting that I find, in this entrepreneurial world, people think that the system itself, say if it's a ClickFunnels, for instance, a ClickFunnels is the thing that's actually going to make things work, and that isn't what it is. You use your systems for what already works. And there's a big difference. You are in charge of your business, and you know what works in your business. you go and you find the right systems to pull in for what is working versus thinking, okay, nothing's working, I'm going to go get this system, and the system is going to be the savior. And that isn't going to be what's going to happen. And that's why a lot of people then they throw their hands up in the air about these different, kind of systems, because they were putting all of it into the system rather than into what they knew was actually working in their business in the first place, and then using the system to help them to grow it.
Wow, I love it. And and people who have different CRMs or whatever systems in place, those are just tools. The right. Content that you put into it and the process that you put behind that's up to you. I mean, there's HubSpot and Confusionsoft. Oops, did I say Confusionsoft? I meant Infusion. And then you also have ClickFunnels, lead pages. You have all these different things, and they all will help you with sales funnels, marketing funnels, and knowing the difference between the two is important as well. But you're right. I mean, it is, at the end of the day, those are just tools. They're empty tools. You still have to go in. You have to set up the funnels, the autoresponders, and if you're not the best person to do that, I mean, you have to delegate that, but your messaging needs to be crystal clear, and it has to be in alignment. And that's basically, from what I'm getting from you, is you help people get to the root of what it is and who they are and what they provide.
Exactly. Yeah, we get to the root of it, and then what we do is then that's how we structure all of the systems and structures of the actual company itself, too, to be able to get to the 6- and 7-figure income, levels as it grows and it has room to expand. Because if you don't have those foundational pieces right in place in any business, once it starts growing, it's going to burst at the seams, and that's when a lot of people get totally burnt out, totally overwhelmed, because they haven't set things up in the structure of their company in a way that allowed for the room to grow.
I love it. And we have about 7 minutes left, but could you give your contact info now? And I want to let the listeners know, if you're driving or you're at work and you're unable to write down Kelly Jo's information or some of the gems that she's been giving out, this episode will be archived on the radio station's website. That's 980WCAP.com, and also my website, RCSTechnologySolutions.com. And in like 2 or 3 days. So you'll be able to go back and re-listen to this episode. But Kelly, could you give everybody your contact info now?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best place to interact and to learn from me is going to be in my Facebook community. And so if you just go onto Facebook, it's Legacy Empire Building Entrepreneurs. So that's Legacy Empire Building Entrepreneurs. And that is going to be the place where we are going to go into the tips, the inspiration, and everything that it's going to take to actually build that legacy empire. First to your 6 figures, and then beyond to the 7 figures and plus.
Excellent. So that's the best place for people. And when the clip comes out in the description, in addition to your bio, I will also put the links to your to this Facebook group, as well as any websites or anything that you send me, or Twitter or anything else.
No, that's the perfect place, because to me, as a leader of the people that I serve, it's best to be in community, and that's the place that I find, works the best in the way that I serve my audience, is being in community. Because when I am showing them as an example of how to actually build their empire, it shows them the exact things that are going on behind the scenes, if you will. Just talking at people is not what I like to do, because when you just talk at people, sometimes it's hard to actually be able to intake, how does this actually work for me? But when you're talking with people, you'll be able, to really hone in on, how does this relate to me, and how can I use this information to help me in the best way possible. So that's why I like to be in community, with my people.
Yeah, and I like that, because sometimes you'll be at events, and we've seen each other at several events, and sometimes the people on the stage, they're edified, they're They're edified by the organization who put them up there, and so there is kind of like a distance between us and them. And if they don't, on the stage, make a connection with us in the beginning, like in the hero's journey or whatever the process is called, then, you're right. There is a talking at you instead of talking with you. But when they can transcend that, and then it's like, I'm up here, but at one point I was down there, this is how I got here, then we can relate to them better. So in this group, it sounds to me like you found a great way to actually relate and interact with people, so it's far more conducive for the learning process for them.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Excellent. And we have like another 4 minutes or so. I'd love to just give you the platform, and you can talk about this business, JVX, or anything else you'd like.
Yeah, great. So I think we could just even go right into something that you were just mentioning about the community. The way that I see building a legacy empire is really about looking at who you serve first and what it is that they are wanting. Because just like we were talking about the messaging, right? So all of your messaging, needs to be around what your ideal clients are actually wanting. So it isn't just the messaging. It goes across the whole spectrum of your business. The client experience needs to come first in order for those particular clients not only to sign up in the first place, right, but to actually stay with you through the process. And just as we know, as entrepreneurs, it costs a lot less to have someone who's already been a customer become a repeat customer. And so if we're looking at wanting to, build your revenue but also your profit, then why wouldn't we do the type of client experience that would allow for our customers to want to be repeat customers? So that's one of the reasons that I do the community, is because that's where I get repeat customers, right? These people are the ones who then, fall in love with me and love, the results that I'm getting them and so forth, so that they'll want to, sign up again for the next thing and sign up again for the next thing, because they already know and trust that I'm going to help them get results. So the whole client experience from beginning, before they even have decided, to sign up with you for anything, all the way through any level that's going to keep taking them, higher and higher for whatever it is that you help them with, have that whole client experience be all about what is in it for this client first. Think about them first. And as you do that, you're going to get repeat customers over and over and over again.
And great referrals, because I really love what you're doing and what you're saying. So because they become raving fans, they come in, the process starts, they get that user experience, and it grows on that. And they also, like you said, sign up for other things going forward. But they also start to tell their friends. And then when you're speaking to somebody, it's more of an attraction-based conversation opposed to a sales conversation, and it's like light years apart. An attraction-based conversation to have somebody enter your tribe opposed to trying to sell them and convince them. So I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and I love what you said about the attraction-based as well, because part of the sales process that I teach as well has to do with, first, yes, you do have to attract them. There's two sides to this sales type of conversation here. You have to attract them, which is great, but what also has to happen is you still have to inspire them to take action. So having them be attracted to you in the first place, awesome, wonderful. You can have that conversation, right? But if you don't actually inspire them to take action after that, they're just going to go away feeling good. Well, we don't want them going away just feeling good, right? We want them, if they were attracted to us in the first place, to actually sign up for whatever it was that we could help them with. And we need to be able to actually have them be inspired to actually, say, yes, I want to hire you. Yes, I want to buy your program. Yes, I'm going to click the button, whatever it is. And so we need to actually have both sides of that. The attraction side, absolutely. And we need to be strong enough in the stand we take for them to help them to make that choice of signing up with us as well.
Excellent. Kelly Jo, I want to thank you very much. We're coming to a hard break. I hear the music coming up in the background. You've been listening to Kelly Jo Murphy on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients using various Internet marketing techniques and methods. Kelly Jo, thank you so much for blessing our listeners with your expertise.
Thank you, Ron.
And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't want to know, forget her. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town.
980 WCAP, Lowell, Haverhill, Lawrence, Methuen, Nashua, and Salem, New Hampshire, serving the Merrimack Valley.